4 simple steps to selling a house with a reverse mortgage. Hi, I'm Julee Patterson, realtor and broker owner of Gateway Properties. And lots of people believe that a reverse mortgage puts the lender in control of the house or prohibits the sale of the house when a loved one passes. But that's false. The truth is, selling a house with a reverse mortgage is pretty much like any other home sale. It's still your house. But there are a few things that need to be remembered. You need to keep in communication with the lender throughout the entire process. Like many things in life, communication is key. If the lender doesn't see that you're actively marketing the property, or if you miss an important deadline that's laid out in the agreement, you could face the possibility of foreclosure, and no one wants that to happen. The good news though is that if you have the right people in your corner and you follow the guidelines, the process can be fairly easy. The steps to selling a house with a reverse mortgage are really no different than if you were selling a home with a traditional mortgage. Step 1, trigger of a maturity event. With a reverse mortgage, a maturity event could be a few different things, but selling the home is definitely one of them. Since selling the home is basically considered a maturity event, that takes care of step 1. But here's where it gets a little bit tricky. Depending on the lender, either the date that you list the house for sale or the date that you accept an offer could be considered the date of maturity event. So you want to make sure that this is clear for your particular situation. Everybody needs to be on the same page with regarding these dates. When you decide you want to sell, it's best to contact the lender so you can determine the balance that's needed to be paid off. This is called your payoff letter. Often when it's decided to sell a home with a reverse mortgage, it's because the borrower has passed away or is no longer residing in the home. If it's the latter, it would be the date that the home was last occupied by the borrower or the date of the death of the last surviving spouse. Why does the date matter? Well, listen up. Step 2, contact your lender. The exact date of the maturity event matters because you need to notify the loan servicer of the reverse mortgage within 30 days of the maturity event. Once your loan servicer receives the notification, they'll send out a due and payable letter. Having sent this due and payable letter, the loan servicer will then send out an FHA-approved appraiser to assess the current market value of the property. The amount that's due to the lender will either be the total amount of the reverse mortgage loan or 95% of its current appraised value if the debt amount exceeds the current value. Luckily, it's whichever amount is lower. After you or the estate receive this due and payable letter, you have 30 days from the date of the letter to respond. If you fail to respond to this letter, your reverse mortgage lender can proceed with a foreclosure on the home, and we certainly don't want that to happen. That's why working and paying attention to these dates are so important. If you're working with an attorney, you want to have them involved with this entire process. Step 3, establish a repayment plan. Technically, repayment of the reverse mortgage is due immediately when the maturity event is triggered, say when the borrower sells the house, moves into an assisted living facility, or passes away. However, depending on the lender and the terms of your loan, you'll likely have some time to make this happen. It's generally about 6 months, but there may be an option to extend, but you want to try to get things wrapped up really as soon as possible. It's very important that the lender is advised of the process and that you demonstrate that the home is being actively marketed or that financing is being actively pursued to avoid any problems. Don't forget that the main legal ramification of not following these things is foreclosure, which takes the home and the sale of process completely out of your hands. So if you do need some more time, be sure to make your extension request well in advance and in writing, and you want verification of your extension also in writing. Having everything documented is very important. Step 4, settle the loan and disperse the proceeds. Just like with a traditional mortgage, once the home sells and the proceeds will be distributed at closing, with the necessary funds going towards paying off the reverse mortgage. When you settle the reverse mortgage loan, you're paying off, number 1, the principal amount borrowed throughout the entire reverse mortgage, number 2, the accrued interest on the mortgage that was borrowed, number 3, any other unpaid fees, and number 4, if the balance of the reverse mortgage exceeds the value of the home, then the homeowner or their heirs would not be responsible to pay the difference. But the good news is that most reverse mortgages are non-recourse loans. Therefore, neither the homeowner or the estate would be responsible for paying back any portion of the loan that's exceeded the appraised value or the sales price. If the proceeds from the sale exceed the debt amount owed on the reverse mortgage, then any of the remaining money or that equity is dispersed to the home seller or to the estate heirs. We have more videos on this topic, so if you want more information, be sure to subscribe to our channel and don't hesitate to reach out to me directly. I'd be happy to talk to you about your specific situation. We're not lawyers and this information is not a source of legal advice. For more information about legal advice, you want to definitely consult a professional. See you soon.